Hi, my name is Austin Stowe, and I am applying for the Internal Communications Manager position at TravelPerk. My previous experience already in the communications field is 3 years at Ford Motor Company as a communications professional. I've also graduated with a bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University in integrated public relations and also Spanish. And I'm currently finishing up my master's degree at Wayne State University in public relations and organizational communication. So I've already told you a little bit about my experience, but I'd like to also share a little bit about myself. I'm from Michigan, always been from Michigan, born here, raised here. I guess just in terms of a couple of values that I like to follow is staying positive, no matter what, both personally and professionally. Also, just keeping an open mind, because if you're able to keep an open mind and sort of listen to people rather than deflect people, you're able to actually learn more from them, learn new lessons, and that way improve yourself, which I like to follow. Also, just in terms of some of the diving a little bit deeper into my experience. So I did graduate from Central Michigan University in 2016. During this time, I actually studied abroad for a semester in Alicante, Spain, and that's where I sort of wrapped up my Spanish degree and became fluent in Spanish. And I know that's important for TravelPerk since the headquarters is located in Barcelona, Spain. Um, Also, I am currently working on my master's at Wayne State University. I have 3 more classes left, and I'll be wrapped up with that this December. In terms of some of the work that I've done, I guess you could say I am sort of a Swiss Army knife of sorts when it comes to my work and my job. I've been a communications lead, a speechwriter, um, also have been a project manager, a producer, a writer, basically a jack of all trades. And I'm really not afraid to take on the next assignment. And then in terms of my personal life, I live in the Metro Detroit area. I actually lived in downtown Detroit for a year, and it was really fun. But if you know Detroit, then you know that I'm a withering Detroit Lions fan, and have been since birth. Outside of football, I love playing soccer, so football in Spain. And then also, I love cooking, collecting vinyl of my favorite bands, and then also reading and just continuously trying to learn. So there's a few reasons that I'm applying for this TravelPerk position as the internal communications manager. One of the reasons is I think the startup environment of TravelPerk is wonderful. I really want to join a work environment that's a little bit more agile than your average corporate work environment where things might move a little bit slower. I also want to join the company because I think the software, basically what the company is business model is based off of, is really cool. Just being an avid traveler myself, I could see how a lot of people would like this technology, except especially business people that travel a lot for work. Lastly, I want to join this company because of the opportunity to expand my expertise globally, since the company is based out of Spain, and just given my language skills already in Spain, or in Spanish, I should say, um, I think that I would be a great fit here. So there are a couple of reasons I think I'm well qualified for this job at TravelPerk as the internal communications manager. One of the reasons is my internal communications expertise that I already have. The first year and a half at Ford, actually, I was in the position as the internal communications specialist for engineering in this organization of more than 30,000 people, 30,000 engineers, I should say. My role was to go out and actually mine stories. So whether it be cool engineering profiles, uh, technology innovations within the engineering department, any of these stories that really um, hit home as to what our engineering department did, and really what I tried to do and what I was able to succeed at doing was building credibility and also making employees proud to work at Ford in the engineering group. The other reason that I think I am, or that I could start to impact TravelPerk due to my experience, is that I already, I guess for my current position, I actually manage our design group's communications efforts. So, vehicle design. So, these are the designers that develop what the vehicles look like, whether it be our cars, trucks, SUVs. They're a really fun group to work with. They're really creative. And really, what I've been doing is managing all their storytelling, also managing any media outreach, and basically developing stories within this group to pitch out to media and build the reputation for design. So both the aspect of working in internal communications and then also managing communications for our design group sort of give the best of both worlds to Travel Park in terms of my experience that I already have. So the most challenging project I've been on so far at Ford was actually media pre-briefings and building out this media pre-briefing space for our all-new electric vehicle, the Mustang Mach-E. Super exciting product. First electric vehicle that's a major win for Ford. And I was actually at the forefront of it all when it came to interfacing with media, building out this media walkthrough space ahead of our actual reveal in Los Angeles, and sort of just working with all different teams, all these different people involved. I actually ended up starting out in a role where I was just helping, and it immediately became a role where I was the project manager on this project. I was actually the one major connection between our design team, also the facilities group that worked at the building we were building this pre-briefing space out at. And then also just I was really the guy that people came to in order to uh, build out this space because we didn't have any funds to work with. I was basically thrown in as an executive producer slash project manager. We were limited on time, had to work with a lot of different personalities that all had their own opinion when it came to what the space should be, what the messaging should be. Also working with just our one of our writers who me and him had to sort of bounce ideas back and forth as I had my people build out the space. So putting poster boards up, making sure we had actual design assets, so actual vehicles, seating, all that sort of stuff. And it flowed with the narrative that our writer was building out. So when media walked through the space, our subject matter experts, the people that would be, or the people that worked on the program and could talk about the program, were able to flow freely through the script and be able to reference different pieces within the space. So this project was really important. It actually helped us in terms of working out the different kinks when it came to making sure we had everything set before heading out to LA, where the actual media briefings were, and media could begin writing their stories. This pre-briefing space was almost the rough draft, but it was so essential in helping us develop just the overall narrative that we wanted to share with media when it came to this huge product that we were coming out with. So just being at the forefront of that, and then also being able to travel out to LA and interface with design media and lead from that perspective on this vehicle was both challenging but really rewarding. And it taught me that no matter how much you have to persevere, no matter how many times people come back to you and want things changed, you just need to sort of just drive through it, keep your head down, and in the end, you'll come out successful, and it'll just make you stronger as you continue your professional career. So, if I'm trying to make an important decision when dealing with a crisis or situation, one of the first things that I look at is trying to figure out what our overall goal is. What are we trying to achieve? After that, we wanted to sort of figure out how do we reach those goals. In order to reach the goals, what do we need to do? Even though it might hurt some people, or some people might sort of push back, or there might be some internal tension, even external tension. What is going to be for the greater good of the organization? So really from there, it's figuring out, okay, we got our goal set. What do we want to do? What are our objectives? And from there, let's figure out what key components or what key people we need to assign to certain parts to get the assignment done. Also, what key components or what key pieces, whether it be a press release, whether it be a speech written, all these different pieces that we might need to get us through this situation. And then also just figuring out, like, once we get all these pieces, what is the return on investment? Are we getting the most we can get out of our different assets that we're working with and the different people that we're working with? Like I said, it should be for the greater good of the organization and really the vision of the organization, because in the long run, it's what the organization's success that leads to the people's success within that organization, and vice versa. So really making sure that we look towards the organization and what we can do for the organization is really where we want to look to when solving some sort of problem or crisis. Probably one of the things I'm most proud of within my own career and something that's happened recently has been the work that my team and I have achieved during the coronavirus pandemic. Our team, one of the things that we usually do is we try to make the news about new products, whether it be new cars, new technologies. However, we're not able to do this during a time of a pandemic where everything is closed down, where people are dying every day, where hospitals are being rushed with new people that have the virus. And what our team has been doing is really getting the news out for what Ford has been doing to help the local communities, and even just nationally in our country, how our company has been able to help out with providing ventilators, masks to different hospitals. We've been in charge of all the communication of that, and just actually showcasing the real people that have been working on our new assembly lines, creating these masks and ventilators has been really compelling. Just for my personal work that I've done so far during the coronavirus has been in the design space. And really what I've been proud of is the storytelling I've achieved, both in this one project where we developed a kids activity book for both kids and even adults, because adults love coloring in cool cars, of both of these groups using this activity book that our designers created to keep their minds active at home and stay away from being bored. And then also the other project that I worked on was talking about how our design leaders have been using virtual reality to review car programs, where usually they have to be in the studio reviewing different models. We actually use technology to continue our work and to move programs forward. And I think a lot of the work that we've been doing during this time for Ford has been really compelling stuff. So just a couple last things I wanted to add. I really think that I could impact this organization immediately, just with all the things I've learned from just a larger company when it comes to communications, but also working with real people and working in smaller groups. I've had both the micro and macro experiences when it comes to both communications, news making, all the above within Ford's PR group. I also really think that you'll get somebody that can provide a sense of calmness, a sense of openness. I'm very inviting. I believe that all ideas are good ideas. I think that everybody should have their voice heard, and I'm always willing to listen to new ideas. It's probably one of the values that I like to hold on to most is keeping an open mind, because if you keep a closed mind, you won't receive all the great ideas that people may have. You might only resort to what you have yourself and not be able to grow and not help the organization to grow. So I really think that I can provide a great asset to the team in that regard. And I also think that just my different cultural perspective, so being from the United States, where the company is based in Barcelona, I think I can offer a unique perspective when it comes to our customer base here for business travel, what people are looking for, just a different perspective that can sort of help catapult the company's communications efforts in a positive manner. So just wanted to bring that across and sort of show how else I can contribute to the team. So there's a few portfolio pieces I'd like to highlight from my time as a communications specialist at Ford. So one of them actually has to do with internal communications, where I was the engineering communications specialist internally, and I was able to write 74 engineering stories over a year and a half span when it came to technology, people stories, leadership content, and other various content. And I shared this content through our different employee channels, including our homepage, our mobile app, and also our engineering social page too. So just getting those out through various channels and continuing to promote the great work that our engineering team is doing. So moving on to the second portfolio piece that I was proud to lead, it wasn't internal communications, but it was actually external facing, a really cool project that I was leading on when it came to media outreach and actually getting some story or media coverage when it came to the cool stuff that our design group was working on. So basically we brought in media for this immersion event, which I organized, and media, about 10 to 15 media came in and were able to use this virtual reality technology that our designers are using to draw cars in 3D VR. So we actually got great coverage out of this immersion experience, including CNBC, Engadget in terms of tech, and then also a couple auto publications, including The Drive, CNET Roadshow. So overall, the event and then also the coverage was a great success. The last piece I'd like to highlight, and I think some of this could contribute to our overall internal communication strategy for TravelPerk, is the work that I was doing for our vice president of design. I was actually, or I still am actually handling his Instagram account. So I actually built it from the ground up. There were all these other design vice presidents that had Instagram pages, and I just wanted to find a way to both recognize all the great work that our four designers were doing, and then also just give some more visibility to our vice president. So I actually set up his Instagram account, and it includes posting behind the scenes content of different designers in the studio and the work that they're doing. Also just some of the different events that our vice president has been to, any of his interests, maybe what he does outside of work, and just trying to highlight also like different designers' work, which includes sketches, clay work, all that good stuff. So that's another platform that I'm really proud of working on. I took it from 0 posts to about 80 posts over a year span, and also went from about 0 people to 1,400 followers over the year span. And this is all within a design environment that might not get as much visibility or coverage. So we'll continue to work on that social media channel, but really look forward to any of the work that I could do with TravelPerk when it comes to social media, because I'm also an expert in that area. So again, my name is Austin Stowe. I have 3 years of experience with a Fortune 500 company in communications. I also have a degree in both public relations and Spanish, and soon to be a master's in public relations. I would love to have a face-to-face interview very soon, or even a phone conversation, given the international circumstances. So again, really interested in this position and looking forward to hearing from you.